We are following some breaking news right now. Austin police have released the body camera video from an officer-involved shooting. And now to some major challenges for travelers in North Texas this weekend. Many ended up stranded at DFW Airport. Tonight there was a new crackdown right here in Texas on illegal devices that can turn a regular pistol into a machine gun. We heard Doggett say he would like to see an open convention. He thought that would be the best way for the Democrats to get the best nominee, but obviously the president went in the other direction. What does that signal just in general about the economy and where things stand? Well, last year alone, more than 120,000 Texans reported suspected elder abuse or neglect.
Hoping to put Republicans on the record.
Yeah, this has become a major issue for the Biden-Harris campaign ahead of the November election. Well, speaking of iconic things in Texas, today was the opening day for the biggest Buc-ee's ever. No question they're going to be working up a sweat out there. I guess there's a chance they could see some raindrops. Maybe they would prefer that.
Well, let's find out.
Keep them cool.
Yeah, Chief Meteorologist Scott Fisher.
Apparently anything, they say, can be a toy when you're an 18-month-old. What is that? Just like some sort of dish?
It looks like a dish. It does. Well,
you got to be nice to people that serve you stuff.
Especially in customers. I had to work those jobs. I don't know if you ever had to.
I was a server. I was a host. I did it. Yeah.
I'm so big on just be kind.
Nothing warrants throwing a drink in someone's face. I'm sorry.
No.
Clear out the mess left behind by the Eaton fire. John.
Yeah, Christine, those EPA contractors have been painstakingly going through properties like this one behind me all day. They actually just wrapped up for the day just a short time ago. We're actually inside that staging area that the EPA calls it, where they're bringing hazardous debris from the Palisades fire. The wind has really been a thorn in their side. I want to show you what it looks like right now. About 2 hours ago, AFD said they did get the fire under control. While Austin police have not revealed exactly how he died, it may have been due to cuts from broken glass. Here the streets are empty except for a few piles of garbage, and on either side houses in various stages of completion. This is such an impressive sight to see in person, but there's so much preparation that goes into making this happen. How big of a deal is today? 40 years, new music out, and you got this documentary. What's going through your head right now? Since he's been on the loose, the Grinch has apparently been leaving his mark all over town, spray painting his telltale green smirk just about everywhere. Fox 11 tagging along with the EPA Wednesday as hazmat crews worked for the second day, sifting through what's left after the Eaton fire.
I mean, that's great to see. I know they're going to be working long hours.
8 teams of contractors showing up at damaged or destroyed homes and carefully removing anything that could pose a danger, from e-waste to toxic chemicals.
The crews have to do everything by hand, and they've got a lot of hazards to deal with.
This is just one of the crews that are out here. They are painstakingly going through the rubble of each property, trying to identify anything that might be hazardous.
Everything from spray paint cans to pesticides or fertilizers.
Crews have 6,800 properties to go through in Altadena alone during what's known as Phase 1. So this is a massive process.
It's the biggest we've ever done.
But one the EPA is hoping to get done as quickly as possible.
We've planned to, get all the resources we need to complete it in as soon as 30 days. And I don't know if we will, but we're going to try our hardest to do that.
Once the property passes a Phase 1 hazardous debris inspection, EPA crews are putting signs on these properties to indicate they're cleared for Phase 2.
And that's the physical removal of debris and ash, either by a public contractor for FEMA or by a resident's-owned contractor.
Arthur Kajikian, whose gas station was thankfully spared by the Eaton fire, says many of his customers lost their homes. But he's encouraged to see the cleanup process beginning and his community ever so slowly starting to heal.
I just wish them the best, everyone. The crew that's working on it and the people who are slowly going to get their lives back to normal.
And we've got much more on the debris removal process at foxla.com. Meanwhile, those crews from the EPA will be back out here first thing Thursday morning. Reporting from Altadena, I'm John Krinjak, Fox 11 News.
We've had a known risk of near misses and collisions for a while now. One is now manifested, and it needs to be the last one.
67 people dead after an Army helicopter and a passenger plane collide midair in Washington. Another 7 killed in a medevac jet crash in Philadelphia. It's renewing questions about air traffic controller staffing, including in Austin.
We are in the top 5 airports with the greatest shortage of air traffic controllers.
So how bad is it? The FAA providing these numbers to Fox 7 in response to a Freedom of Information request. Last month, the FAA says only 32 controller positions were filled compared to the target number of 60. That's just 53%. The situation has largely gotten worse over time. In January 2024, the target number was lower at 42 controllers. Back then, 35 of those positions were filled, or 83%. 2 years earlier, there was a target of 38 controllers, of which 35 were filled, or 92%.
We've gone backwards as the target has gone up.
Mike Slack, an Austin-based aviation expert, says a lack of controllers can impact safety, especially when coupled with high traffic or bad weather.
Day in, day out, it may not be a concern, but it's that moment, it's that foggy day and you have a lot of traffic, then your margin of safety gets cut down considerably.
With fewer positions filled, he says, controllers are likely working overtime, doubling up on positions, and possibly getting fatigued.
And so attention, memory, reaction are all compromised as stress increases.
There have been nearly a dozen near misses at ABIA in recent years. This past October, an American Airlines plane missed a Cessna by about 350 feet. 2 years ago, a FedEx cargo plane nearly collided with a Southwest jet. Slack says those are the kinds of situations he's worried about when controllers are stretched too thin.
It's like, did I clear that airplane for takeoff or not?
Congressman Lloyd Doggett says he's concerned the situation may not improve under the new Trump administration, with federal workers being urged to take buyouts and the FAA administrator resigning after a reported clash with Elon Musk. But he'd like to see the agency step up efforts to fill those gaps.
Given the high cost of living in the Austin area, that we need incentive pay to draw more controllers there.
Austin's airport saying in a statement, a fully staffed tower is essential to ensuring the highest standards of safety. We will continue to collaborate closely with the FAA to implement a staffing plan that meets the growing needs of AUS.
I think generally the Austin airport is safe and these air traffic controllers are doing a really good job, but they're only human. And when you have such a shortage, there's always the possibility that mistakes can occur.